In the developed world, for every person over the age of 60, there is a silent threat. It does not announce itself with pain or sudden alarm. It begins as a subtle thief, stealing the light from the center of your world. This threat is age-related macular degeneration, and it is the leading cause of irreversible blindness. This is not a rare condition. It affects millions, turning the familiar faces of loved ones into indistinct blurs, and the crisp lines of a book into wavy, unreadable patterns. The common belief is that this is an unavoidable tax on a long life. This belief is a myth. The deterioration of your retina is a biological process driven by a specific, identifiable enemy. And this enemy has a scientifically proven vulnerability. The human eye is a biological masterpiece. At its very back lies the retina, a thin layer of tissue that converts light into neural signals. And at the center of the retina is the macula. It is a tiny area, no larger than the head of a pin, yet it is responsible for all of your sharp, detailed, straight-ahead vision. It is what allows you to read a prescription bottle, to recognize a friend from across the street, to see the world in high definition. The macula has one of the highest metabolic rates in the entire body. It is a hotbed of cellular activity, constantly processing light and oxygen. This intense activity creates a dangerous byproduct, a relentless chemical fire. This is oxidative stress. Think of it as a form of biological rust. Just as oxygen and moisture corrode unprotected metal, unstable molecules called free radicals attack and damage the delicate photoreceptor cells within the macula. For decades, this assault happens slowly, almost imperceptibly. Your body has natural defenses, antioxidants, that neutralize these free radicals. But as the years pass, the attack intensifies, while the body's defenses can begin to wane. The damage accumulates. Cellular debris, called drusen, begins to build up beneath the retina, like microscopic rubble. This is the hallmark of early and intermediate, age-related macular degeneration. It is a warning sign, a signal that the fortress walls are being breached. Left unchecked, this process can advance, leading to the death of retinal cells and the catastrophic loss of central vision. This is not a life sentence. It is a signal to adapt. For years, the scientific community grappled with a monumental question. Could this oxidative damage be halted? Could the cells of the macula be given a shield to protect them from this relentless internal war? The answer would come from one of the largest and most ambitious clinical trials in the history of ophthalmology, a study that would change the standard of care forever. But the first attempt, while promising, contained a critical, hidden danger for a specific group of people, a danger that would lead to a groundbreaking revision. In the year 2001, the National Eye Institute published the results of the first age-related eye disease study, known as AREDS. It was a massive undertaking, following thousands of individuals for years to test a specific, high-dose formula of antioxidants. The goal was to see if they could arm the body with enough defensive power to slow the progression of macular degeneration in those who were already showing signs of the disease. The formula consisted of 500 milligrams of vitamin C, 400 international units of vitamin E, 15 milligrams of beta-carotene, 80 milligrams of zinc, and 2 milligrams of copper to prevent zinc-induced anemia. The results were a breakthrough. For participants with intermediate AMD or advanced AMD in just one eye, the formulation reduced the risk of their disease progressing to the advanced stage by approximately 25% over 5 years. It was the first time a nutritional intervention had been proven so effective for this condition. It offered hope where there had been little. But within this success story, a troubling detail emerged, a dark correlation that could not be ignored. The data revealed that one of the key ingredients, beta-carotene, the precursor to vitamin A found in carrots and other orange vegetables, had a dangerous side effect. For participants in the study who were current smokers, taking this high dose of beta-carotene was associated with a significantly increased risk of lung cancer. The risk was so pronounced that it was later extended to include former smokers as well. The very ingredient meant to protect vision was posing a mortal threat to a large portion of the population it was designed to help. The beta-carotene problem presented a serious ethical and scientific challenge. A shield that protects one person but harms another is not a true solution. A new formulation was needed. Scientists went back to the drawing board, searching for powerful antioxidants that could replace beta-carotene without the associated risk. They found them in 2 potent carotenoids the human body cannot produce on its own. The question was, would they be powerful enough? This led to the second landmark trial, the Age-Related Eye Disease Study 2, or AREDS2. Launched in 2006, its purpose was twofold. First, to create a safer, more effective formula. Second, to test other promising nutrients. Researchers wanted to know if adding omega-3 fatty acids, known for their anti-inflammatory properties, would provide additional benefits. But the primary mission was to find a replacement for beta-carotene. The candidates were lutein and zeaxanthin. These two compounds are a class of plant pigments called carotenoids, just like beta-carotene. But unlike beta-carotene, they are found in uniquely high concentrations in the human macula. They are literally the pigment that gives the macula its yellowish color. This is no accident of nature. Their presence there is profoundly functional. Lutein and zeaxanthin act as the body's own internal sunglasses. They accumulate in the retinal cells and perform two critical, sight-saving jobs. First, they filter high-energy blue and ultraviolet light, shielding the delicate photoreceptor cells from light-induced damage, much like a protective film over a sensitive lens. Second, they are powerful antioxidants. They patrol the macula, neutralizing the dangerous free radicals produced by the eye's high metabolic activity. They are the frontline defenders, sacrificing themselves to protect the irreplaceable cells that grant us our sharpest vision. The human body cannot create these essential defenders. They must be obtained exclusively through diet. The AREDS2 trial enrolled over 4,000 participants between the ages of 50 and 85, all at high risk for progression to advanced AMD. They were tested for 5 years. The study's design was elegant, testing various combinations: the original AREDS formula, the AREDS formula without beta-carotene, the formula with lutein and zeaxanthin instead of beta-carotene, and versions with and without omega-3 fatty acids. The results, published in 2013, were definitive and transformative. The data showed that adding omega-3 fatty acids did not have a significant effect on AMD progression. More importantly, the formulation with 10 mg of lutein and 2 mg of zeaxanthin was not only a safer alternative to beta-carotene, it was superior. Participants taking the AREDS2 formula with lutein and zeaxanthin had an additional 18% lower risk of progressing to advanced AMD compared to those taking the original AREDS formula with beta-carotene. The science was clear. A new blueprint for ocular defense had been established. It is a formula that has become the gold standard of care recommended by ophthalmologists worldwide for patients with intermediate to advanced age-related macular degeneration. This successful AREDS2 formulation is not a vague suggestion to eat more vegetables. It is a precise, therapeutic dose: 500 mg of vitamin C, 400 international units of vitamin E, 10 mg of lutein, 2 mg of zeaxanthin, 80 mg of zinc, 2 mg of copper. This specific combination is the blueprint. It is the scientifically validated shield, but possessing the blueprint is not the same as building the fortress. A critical question remains: can you achieve these therapeutic levels through diet alone? The answer is a biological and mathematical impossibility for the vast majority of adults. And attempting to do so without understanding the precise ratios can render the entire effort useless. The key is not just what you consume, but how much you consume, but how these specific nutrients interact inside your body. It is a biological symphony, and if one instrument is out of tune, the entire performance fails. So what happens when we try to conduct this symphony with diet alone? Let's take just one component: 10 mg of lutein. To get that dose, you would need to eat nearly 2 cups of cooked kale every single day, without fail. That might sound manageable. But what about the zeaxanthin? That's another cup of cooked corn, or 2 whole bell peppers. What about the zinc? 80 mg. To get that from food, you would have to consume about 12 ounces of oysters, or over 30 cups of baked beans. And we haven't even touched the vitamin C, vitamin E, or copper. Assembling these precise, therapeutic doses day after day is not just impractical, it's a nutritional impossibility for almost everyone. This is why the supplement was created. It is the only reliable way to deliver the blueprint. But this is where the story takes a dark and unexpected turn. Because buried within the success of the AREDS2 formula is a hidden biological trap, a danger so profound it can create the very kind of damage it's meant to prevent. It all comes down to the zinc. Why is the dose so high? 80 mg is more than 7 times the recommended daily allowance. It's a pharmacological megadose. Zinc is a vital transport mineral. Think of it as the armored truck that carries vitamin A from the liver to the retina, where it's used to create the light-sensing pigments essential for vision. Without enough zinc, this critical supply line breaks down. The AREDS study found that this massive dose of zinc was essential for the formula's protective effect. But flooding the body with this much of any single mineral doesn't happen in a vacuum. It triggers an ancient, self-preservation mechanism in our gut, a mechanism with devastating unintended consequences. When your intestine detects this overwhelming amount of zinc, it panics. It thinks it's being poisoned. To protect the body, the intestinal cells produce a sticky protein called metallothionein. This protein's job is to bind to heavy metals and block them from being absorbed into the bloodstream. And it does its job beautifully. It traps the excess zinc. But here's the fatal flaw in the system. Metallothionein isn't very smart. It cannot distinguish between zinc and another essential mineral that looks almost identical to it on a molecular level. That mineral is copper. The zinc megadose essentially erects a biochemical wall, and while it's designed to block zinc, it ends up causing a catastrophic copper blockade. Your body is suddenly and artificially starved of copper. And a severe copper deficiency is not a minor problem. It is a neurological disaster. Copper is fundamental for maintaining the myelin sheath, the protective coating around your nerves, including the 2 million nerve fibers that make up your optic nerve. Without enough copper, this sheath begins to break down. This can lead to a condition called copper deficiency myelopathy, causing irreversible nerve damage, numbness, difficulty walking, and, in a cruel twist of irony, a form of vision loss called optic neuropathy. The very shield designed to protect your central vision could be destroying the master cable that sends all visual information to your brain. This is the hidden paradox of the AREDS2 formula. It's a double-edged sword. The high dose of zinc is a hero, but it's also a saboteur, creating a dangerous deficiency that the formula itself must then solve. This is why that last ingredient is there. The 2 milligrams of copper. It's not a bonus. It's not for extra support. It is the antidote. That 2 milligrams is the precise amount needed to bypass the blockade, to slip past the metallothionein trap, and counteract the zinc's damaging side effect. The entire formula is not just a shield. It's a breathtakingly delicate balancing act, a biochemical tightrope walk. And this begs a terrifying new question. What happens if that balance is disturbed? What if your own daily habits, your diet, or other medications are unknowingly pushing you off that tightrope? Many common over-the-counter antacids and acid blockers, for example, change the pH of your stomach, which can further inhibit copper absorption. Are you taking one every day? You might be weakening the antidote. Do you take a separate daily multivitamin? Many of them contain more zinc, 15, 30, even 50 milligrams, but little or no copper. If you combine that with an AREDS2 supplement, you could be massively overdosing on zinc, completely overwhelming the 2 milligram copper antidote and accelerating the very deficiency it's meant to prevent. Your attempt to be healthier could be actively sabotaging your sight. Suddenly, the clear, scientific solution becomes a minefield of personal variables. The blueprint is perfect, but the construction materials, your own unique biology and lifestyle, are unpredictable. It transforms the patient from a passive recipient of a cure into an active participant in a daily, high-stakes chemical negotiation. You are not just taking a pill. You are managing a powerful, volatile reaction inside your own body. This reveals a deeper, more unsettling truth about modern medicine. We have become masters of intervention, of identifying a problem and hitting it with a powerful, targeted solution. But we often underestimate the ripple effects. The body is not a machine with swappable parts. It is a complex, interconnected ecosystem. Pushing hard on one lever can cause a dozen others to move in unexpected ways. So if the gold standard formula itself is this fragile, this dependent on a perfect balance that can be disrupted by a simple glass of milk or a second vitamin pill, how can you ensure it's actually working for you? How do you know if you are absorbing these nutrients correctly? Is the shield holding? Or is it secretly full of holes? The answer lies in moving beyond the blueprint and examining the very nature of the building blocks themselves. Because it turns out, not all vitamins are created equal. In fact, the very building blocks in your pill might be cheap, synthetic imposters, unrecognizable to your cells. What if the vitamin C in your AREDS supplement has almost nothing in common with the vitamin C your body evolved to use from an orange? What if it's a dead, isolated chemical, stripped of the very cofactors your body needs to actually use it? This is the fundamental deception. The ascorbic acid in that pill is not vitamin C. It is the isolated, antioxidant shell of the vitamin C complex. Real vitamin C, the kind found in that orange, is a symphony of interconnected compounds, bioflavonoids, rutin, tyrosinase, and other cofactors that work together. The isolated chemical is like a car with no engine, no wheels, and no driver. It has the shape of the thing, but it lacks the life force, the synergistic intelligence that your body is designed to recognize. Your cells are not lab equipment. They are ancient biological locks, and they are waiting for nature's keys. So what does this mean for the AREDS2 formula? It means the tightrope is even thinner than we imagined. It means you could be taking the perfectly balanced dose of zinc and its copper antidote. But if those minerals are in a cheap, inorganic form your body can't properly absorb, the balance is meaningless. It means the vitamin E in your supplement could be a synthetic imposter that actually blocks your body's vitamin E receptors. The blueprint for health isn't just about the right ingredients. It's about the right language. Our DNA is a library of ancient recipes written in the vocabulary of nature, not the shorthand of a chemical factory. This isn't a story about the failure of science. It's a story about its profound success and our misunderstanding of it. The AREDS study is a miracle of targeted intervention. It revealed a deep biochemical truth, but we have mistaken the blueprint for the building. We've mistaken the recipe for the meal. The lesson is not to abandon these powerful tools. It is to approach them with the respect and wisdom they demand, to stop looking for the one magic pill and start understanding the magnificent, interconnected system that is you. The ultimate responsibility for your health does not lie in a bottle. It lies in your understanding. It's in the courage to ask not just what pill to take, but why it works, how it works, and what your unique lifestyle is doing to either support or sabotage it. Health is not a passive state you achieve by swallowing a prescription. It is an active, daily practice of learning, questioning, and participating in your own biology. It's about becoming the conscious, skilled operator of the most complex machine in the universe. This is the new frontier of wellness. It's not about quick fixes or simple headlines. It's about deep understanding, personal empowerment, and navigating the incredible complexity of your own body with confidence and clarity. The answers are out there, but they are rarely found in a single pill. They are found in knowledge. If you're ready to move beyond the myths and become the architect of your own well-being, to understand the science that truly governs your health, then join our community. Subscribe to how_to_be_healthy, and let's start this